I am stressed. I feel like I should not be this stressed before noon. Technology. How are you?
I'm good. I please don't be stressed.
I'm not now. Now that you are here and I am here and we are together doing this conversation, everything is great. Martin Garrix, I'm Sandra. Nice to meet you. Okay, so technology, as we've learned, it makes things very, very fun. So I'll get to that in just a second, but I'm curious to know if you ever could have imagined that this would be your life at almost 25 years old. I mean, you were in our studios before, I think you were like 18 when you were here. You headlined the 2014 Ultra Music Festival and you were what, 17 at the time? You've had some pretty amazing things before people are like learning how to drive, which by the way, your video about you trying to learn how to drive on Instagram might be the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Could you picture your life like this at 25?
No, like everything has been happening. The last few years has been like this crazy roller coaster ride, which has been. I'm super grateful and thankful that everything has happened. And the roller coaster was going crazy, and then this year was the first year because of COVID that the break got hit. I had a lot of time with family and friends, which was under the circumstances. It was really nice.
You know, you have to imagine that, you know, you've been on this, like like you were saying, like a roller coaster ride, and then everything just kind of stops in its tracks because of COVID. And has that really, I think you're kind of getting to that, but has it really forced you to kind of shift your focus and maybe like go, wow, this is everything that has happened, and actually look back on everything you've accomplished so far?
It's not really looking back. It's more for me this year. This year for me has not been at looking back like, oh, this is like about accomplishments. It's been more about learning, growing, and looking back, and never ever taking certain things for granted anymore. Focusing on a healthy balance between touring, between time off, between being in the studio creating new music. Because I've never had so much time to be with family, with friends. I've never had so much time to be in the studio, be creative without any stress for deadlines, like new singles, blah, blah, blah. Like I have so much studio time now, which really helped the creativity as well. It's been interesting, weird year, but also on some levels for me, I felt like I really learned a lot and really got a clear vision of where I want to go.
I think that's brilliant. I think that's so great, because I was going to ask you, like, what has it been like creating and producing music during all of this? How has it changed? And obviously, like it's going pretty well because you have some time and, you know, no stress with deadlines and things.
It's been good. To be honest, it feels a little bit weird to make festival music when there's no festivals.
I bet.
I have some ideas that I'll make sure I'll finish in time for when the festivals are back and that I can play. I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun. But no, I've used this time to experiment, try new things. The new single "Pressure" is also a song that I'm 100% confident that if I was still on tour right now, I probably would have not released that song.
Yeah.
On the Garrix. But it's I feel like everybody now is like it's fun to try out new things, to experiment. And if there's the right time to experiment, I feel like right now is the time.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Pressure, because that made me wonder what it's like collaborating with somebody during, you know, COVID. How do you and Tovlo decide that you are going to collab? Does Tovlo call you? Do you call Tovlo? Like, how does it all happen?
I reached out to her, and luckily she's super cool. Yeah, she's dope. Like her energy is very contagious. She just does whatever she feels like doing. It's also and I love people like that. People who don't think too much, who are there. Like what you see is what you get.
Yep.
And I sent her the demo of Pressure, and she sent me back like she was like first, and I'd never met her in real life because everything happened over FaceTime. The first thing she sends me back is like, "Oh, I worked on it," and she sends me a video. And right when she was about to sing, she stops the video.
So you're like, "Oh, come on!
Why are you doing this to me?"
Yeah.
And then she was like, "No, I'm kidding. I've something proper something presentable in 2 days." And then she played me. She changed the lyrics and she wrote a new part for it, and it was so cool. And it's a very different song for Garrix terms. So it was cool to have an artist like Tove appreciate it and understand the vision and jump on the song.
The song is amazing. Like, it's so good. And then when you actually have a minute to look at the video, I was like, what is this is intense. So let's talk about the video just a little bit, because again, you know, how do you make a video right now? Like, how much say do you have? How much input do you have? You know, where is everybody based out of? Like, how does it all come together? Because that video, if it were a movie, I would be like glued to my screen, because it was a mini movie.
Yeah, that was the goal for the video. No, we had an amazing team work on the video, and whenever we have a new song, we're like, okay, we want to go crazy with the video. We basically just brainstorm, put a lot of ideas on the table, and also ask directors for their ideas. Like, hey, what kind of emotion does this song gives you? Do you visualize anything in front of you? And the director who did this song, he came up with this idea. I don't want to do spoiler alert. I don't want to give too much away from the video, but it's like a small little mini movie, and it's a very different take on the lyrics. Last minute, we had to change and all the credit goes to the team and to the logistics. But I think the week that they would start shooting, the rules changed in that country where they were going to shoot, so there were not a certain amount of people be allowed even for work, so they had to move the whole shoot to a different country.
Oh my gosh.
Had to redo the casting. It was like crazy. So a lot of respect to the team for pulling that off and still releasing it on the day of release, the video. So it's,
and the video for Pressure it's honestly one of the raddest videos I've seen in a very long time. So I'm kind of secretly hoping that you have like a part B that comes out so that I can see like what else transpires from this mini movie. Maybe, fingers crossed. So what, you know, with the pandemic, many people are picking up on different things, you know, different trends, you know, like there was a big thing with Dalgona coffee and then, you know, sourdough bread. Have you picked up any new hobbies or maybe gone back to things that you used to love and just haven't had time for during quarantine?
I love windsurfing.
Really?
Yeah. So I love being on the water. It's like your brain goes to zero, no phone, no distractions. It's just, and I love speed. I love like energy, adrenaline, and then something completely different, which is the complete opposite than an action sport. I love collecting rocks, and reading about it, where they form, how they form, where they're mined, localities. Like yeah.
Is it safe to say that maybe if you weren't a DJ, you'd be a geologist?
Maybe. I love that. I love nature. I think it's art. So yeah, it's like music, windsurfing, rocks, and then most
music, windsurfing, and rocks. Things I never thought I would hear together, but I dig this. I think this is amazing. How fast are you going when you're windsurfing? Sorry for interrupting, but I have never windsurfed in my life, and I'm a bit of a scaredy cat. So I'm curious to know.
Depends. You can go really quick. I don't know exactly the speeds that I have, but it is like when you hit the water doesn't feel like water anymore. It's like it's a proper impact.
Okay, so what is going on with your driver's license?
Yeah, I gave up.
How is that going?
So I posted a video yesterday on my socials,
and
a lot of people think it's recent. It's basically me totally failing my driver's lessons. But this was already 4 years ago. And,
oh no way!
Yeah. And I realized the world is a safer place if I'm in the passenger seat instead of the driver's seat. So
you know, sometimes we need to know our strengths and our weaknesses.
Exactly. But we found all this because they were like, oh, might as well film it. And then they found the footage a few days ago, and they sent me this. I was like, it's another confirmation that it's a good thing that I don't have my license.
So Martin, I'm going to wrap things up soon because DJ Danny D is coming in here in just a minute. We're going to go to our live DJ set, but I wanted to bring this up because soon you are going to be one of our guest DJs on the Ultra Drive at 5 Saturday Street Mix. We are so grateful and so thankful that you're going to be doing this. We cannot wait for it to come out. Now, I need to ask, you know, what can we expect? Not necessarily in that mix, but what can we expect from you in the next few months?
I'm going to drop the biggest collaboration that I've ever done as Martin Garrix in my life in May.
Amazing.
And in April, I have a side project I'm doing called Area 21.
Yep.
It's Major. He's a crazy rapper, singer, songwriter, producer. And it's about two aliens. They crashed on planet Earth. They're here like, what is happening? And we just have a lot of fun doing the project, and we're dropping a full album, and the first single is releasing in April. And I'm really very much looking forward to it because it's completely different than anything else I've done in the past.
Martin, this is so exciting. I'm like, the anticipation now for the spring to kind of come along is, you know, something I can't wait for. Thank you so much for making time for us today. And hopefully when everything is lifted, you can make your way here, come and hang out in the studio and actually do a set live. We'd love to see you here.
I would love that. Good to see you. Thank you so much.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye. Stay safe.